呆萌的海豹群好奇地盯着我们的镜头，比较好动的还会抖抖圆滚滚的身子，让船上游客惊喜连连。四周环海的艾雷岛就在苏格兰的西方海面上，面积只有240平方公里，比台北市还小。但130公里的海岸线，因为有着丰富的生态样貌，成为世界级的景点。
The weather changeable even 24 hours.
Yeah, every day the weather changes. Honestly, it's like you get all seasons in one day.
艾雷岛天气瞬息万变，但如果像我们一样运气好，遇上了太阳，就能看到当地人号称的艾雷蓝。许多游客喜欢开车环岛，或是骑脚踏车，享受大自然给予的亲近与悠闲。这里没有高山，四处平坦，往外围走一点就能碰上绝美海岸，还会有意外惊喜。拖拉机在潮间带上来回作业，前方吊挂的可是一篓篓的生鲜美味。光听生蚝壳的清脆撞击声，就足以让口水大量分泌。等不及送上餐桌，我们直接让主人现剥，踏着海水把生蚝送进嘴里。Really big size.
There we go.
They look delicious.
So the meats are. Tap the first water off because that's just salt water.
这个就是在艾雷岛新鲜现采的生蚝，就是这个老板是说他们边采可以边吃，但其实一般人是不可以的。今天特别给我吃一颗，试试看这个味道。Alright. 它里面超新鲜，而且它这个肉呢不是非常软烂的，是有一点脆脆的，而且里面的肉质非常鲜嫩肥美，大家一定要来吃。刚刚采收的生蚝根本不需要任何调味料，原以为会死咸，但肉质的甜味在嘴里喷发，去除海水后咸度刚好。这是老天爷给的礼物，因为得天独厚的地理环境，才能养出大又甜的顶级生蚝。How is that?
That's good.
That's good.
Prior to this, we buy them in, and they're only tiny wee, smaller than your pinky nail when we buy them in, that size, and they double in size every month. So they grow really quickly. All the water disappears twice a day, so it's a complete change of water twice a day. Most estuaries, it's a change every 4 or 5 days. But this way they're getting an awful lot of fresh feed every day. So it's really good, and it gives a clean flavour. But also, because the oysters are always in and out of the water, they're working hard, so the mussels are working hard, so it gives you a sweet flavour as well.
艾雷岛以农业与畜牧业为主，全岛就只有这一间生蚝养殖场，供应岛上所有餐厅的需求。他们从法国买进苗种，要养到能够食用，最快1年，最慢得3年。
This way they're in baskets and on lines, and they swing in the baskets and they move inside, and it's to give you a rounder shape of shell and more meat. They get to a certain stage and they're growing big enough, we move them into these, and it's really just so it's ease of labour. So the meats are.
我觉得它大小非常的适中，像其实我之前有时候会有点怕吃到太大颗的生蚝，可是这个生蚝的大小很棒，然后吃下去的时候，不会有就是生生的那个感觉，它咬下去的时候还是会有一点点口感。
收成的生蚝必须经过清洗才能送到客人和餐厅手上，但有趣的是，这些生蚝几乎都是卖给外来饕客。艾雷岛当地人吃惯了羊肉，对于这些来自大海的美味，似乎还没办法完全接受。Cool. How about you, David? You can swallow it? No.
老板的女婿咬了几口生蚝，实在吞不下去。老板笑说，他们全家都不吃，自己大概是全艾雷岛唯一敢吃生蚝的当地人，因此这番美味几乎都让游客给享用了。还有人淋上艾雷岛当地盛产的尼美威士忌，把生蚝吞下肚。这般奢侈的搭配，成功的把艾雷岛生蚝的美味拉高到世界等级。
There's an awful lot of tourists come here, especially for oyster. Over the years, it really started off with Bowmore Distillery, with them being Suntory. They started off the whiskey and oyster thing, and then the journalists, and then we've had tourism.
Oh, so it become a tradition.
But a tradition that's part of the guidebooks.
在艾雷岛呢，如果你要尝这个生蚝的话，他们有一个非常特殊的吃法，因为在艾雷岛盛产尼美威士忌，所以当你把这个尼美威士忌加在生蚝里头的时候，会别有风味。现在老板要帮我加一些来吃吃看。Okay, let's do it. Ooh, wow, it's quite luxury.
海陆双味夹攻，把生蚝的香味推到极致，加上当地生蚝特有的脆劲儿。要说有人专程飞往艾雷岛，就是为了这一味。你不信，亲自尝过后，我可信了。